But I was praying about hearing from the Lord, and I said, okay, Lord. But I said, Lord, what can I tell the people about how to hear from you? Because as we go more and more into the end times, people have got to be able to hear from you to stay safe. And this is what he showed me and what he told me. What I saw was what he had told me before, and I made a YouTube video about this. It was a vision he showed me one night. To remove the things that are between you and him. And I mean literally remove the things that are, you know if there's something between you and God. Anytime there was something between me and God, I knew. I knew. God tells you when there's something, you know when there's something between you and him. You know there's something. He said he must be first place, period. No exceptions. No exceptions. You must be still to hear him, so that, and he will show you also.
And the Lord told me the main reason why people can't hear him. So I was just praying and I was saying, Lord, how can I teach people to hear you better or to hear you more? So what is the barrier that keeps most people from hearing you? Why is your voice not getting past that? And he said, my people are putting other gods before me. They worship other gods all day long and then expect me not to care when they approach me. And by worshiping other gods, what the Lord means is other things or people in your life are far more important to you than he is. You give them more of your time and attention and finances and whatever than you do to him. And in my spirit, he began to show me, and I've meditated on this a lot. I've been praying a lot about it because I wanted to be sure that I portrayed it the same way that he showed it to me. And I saw a lot of the busyness. Our day-to-day lives are so busy. And I saw in my spirit busyness that a lot of people are just so busy with busyness that they never get around to God in their day-to-day schedule. And just because you make time for God on Sunday morning when it's time for church does not mean that you're going to hear him if you don't make time for him the rest of the week. A relationship with a living God is an ongoing, all-day, everyday thing. And we don't just talk to him during prayer time. When you're in communion with God, you're talking to him all the time. And I saw in my spirit that many have relationships that are in the way of kingdom work. And this is a word for someone. The Lord is showing me there's a woman listening to this message, and you have a relationship going with an unbeliever that serves no purpose in the kingdom. A relationship that is in the way of kingdom work is basically a relationship with someone who's in the world, or a relationship with someone who's standing between you and what you know God's telling you to do. And anytime we put a relationship before God, that relationship has become our God. If you put time with your friends before God, then your friends have become your God. We have to think about that. Anything that we put before God becomes our God. That's idolatry. I also saw careers and the pursuit of money and success getting in the way. And let me just make a note here. The pursuit of money and success is not limited to careers. There are people in ministry that are pursuing money and success. And if you are, you need to lay that on the altar, because we are not in ministry to pursue money or success. We are in the ministry to help people, to do God's will. And if he brings you money and success with it, that's great, but you're not supposed to pursue it. I don't believe that he wants us to pursue that. I believe he wants us to pursue him. Also, I saw the pursuit of being known, being recognized, being well known. That's also something that happens to ministry. So I'm not just talking to people that are pursuing careers here. I saw some people that had family relationships getting in the way, where they doted more on children and grandchildren and didn't make time for God. We have to be very careful about that. You know, we love our children. We do. I love my children. We love our grandchildren, but they can't come before God. They cannot come before God. Another thing I saw was that it's very difficult for us to just be still. We live in a very busy, entertainment-oriented world that is constantly in motion and alive with change, and being still is a real challenge. It is for me, too. Another thing I saw in my spirit were people who have walls up, walls of pride, disappointment, anger, rejection, and also walls of unforgiveness towards God, where you've blamed God for something that happened and you're still angry at Him. And what the Lord showed me when I was praying about this message is you have to pray and you have to search your life for what is between you and God. What is taking up all your time? What is taking up all your days? If you think you have walls up around your heart, ask the Lord to reveal to you, to give you some kind of sign of what the walls are and how they got there so you can tear them down. God has to be first place in our lives. He's not going to have other gods before Him, because the throne of your heart belongs to Him. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. That's Exodus 20:2-3. And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thine heart and with all thy soul and with all thy might. Deuteronomy 6:5. You can't bless disorder, y'all. He has to be first. If God is not first in your life, if you've got relationships that shouldn't be there, if you've got other things in His place, life's going to be a mess, and things are not going to work right, and you're going to wonder why. Things start getting to be a mess, stop and check that. And be sure you're keeping Him first. It's called Come and Show Me Your Love. I created all of you for my pleasure, that I might know you and you me. I rejoice in you when you spend time with me, when you take time from your busy schedules to linger in my presence. My children, you are troubled by many cares on many sides, but I am all you need. Knowledge of my word and time with me will solve every problem, every difficulty you have. I love you with an everlasting love, not as the world loves, or those in the world love, do I love you, but a love without end. In me there is no turning, no changing, no unfaithfulness. In me there is no fear of loss or regret. Spending time in my presence always brings reward. You will reap benefits you never dreamed if you will only focus on me, your King. If I am your Lord, then worship me. If I am your beloved, come into my presence and love me. If you truly reverence me, come into my presence and show me your reverence, and I shall show you great and mighty things you know not of.